AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. A leak that's roiled President Trump's national security team continues dominating the conversation in Washington. Sagar Magani has the latest.
National Intelligence Chief Tulsi Gabbard acknowledges it was a mistake to discuss sensitive strike plans against Houthi rebels in a signal group text chain that included a journalist.
The conversation was candid and sensitive.
The Atlantic posted the full chat today with jaw-dropping specifics from Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth about exact timings of when fighter jets would launch and when bombs would drop. He says he was just doing his job.
Provide updates in real time.
And testifying before a House panel.
No classified information was shared.
Gabbard echoed CIA Director John Ratcliffe, earning a rebuke from former House colleague Joaquin Castro.
Y'all know it was a lie. That's ridiculous.
Sagar Magani, Washington.
A federal appeals court has refused to lift an order barring the Trump administration from deporting Venezuelan migrants to El Salvador. In a split decision, the three-judge panel upheld a March 15th order temporarily prohibiting deportations under the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Gun safety groups are celebrating a Supreme Court decision upholding a Biden administration firearm regulation on ghost guns. The rule requires continued serial numbers, background checks, and age verification to buy kits to build them. Meantime, the justices are to hear arguments over cuts to teacher training funded by the Department of Education.
A federal judge in Boston found the cuts were already affecting training programs aimed at addressing a nationwide teacher shortage. The government argues that the judge's order is forcing it to keep paying out millions in grant money. 8 Democratic-led states argue that the cuts were likely driven by efforts to eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion programs.
This is AP News. More declines for Nvidia, Tesla, and other former stars dragged Wall Street lower. The Nasdaq lost 2%, the S&P 1.1%, the Dow 0.3%. And a library that once united the U.S. and Canada is now dealing with new border restrictions. Lisa Adams-Wagner has the story.
The U.S. government is ending a more than century-old friendly arrangement on the Canadian border as the two countries feud. The Haskell Free Library and Opera House is located in both Derby Line, Vermont, and Stansted, Quebec, but the entrance is located on the U.S. side. For more than 100 years, Canadians have been allowed to enter without a passport. But since Tuesday, only library workers and cardholders are allowed to cross over without papers. And starting October 1st, no Canadians will be allowed in the U.S. entrance without going through a border checkpoint. Supporters of the library say the regulation is unnecessary and fear it will damage traditionally warm relations. I'm Lisa Adams-Wagner.
And I'm Ben Thomas, AP News. Thanks for listening.
Good morning, Marianas. It is Thursday morning. It is 7:06, and you're looking live at Olei Beach Road. Traffic looking mighty, mighty fine. Very easy today. Very nice indeed.
Oh, come on, come on.
Gotta love it. You gotta love this show. And we've got a great one for you. All right, well, let's get to it, folks. It is great to see you guys this morning. Thanks for tuning in. It is Good Morning Marianas, and it is not particularly warm today, but it's gonna get hotter, just like the quality of this show. It's 79 degrees this morning. We're looking at a high near 88 today, and we got a windy day, too. Gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. Whoa, hang on to your toupees. Ladies, hang on to your eyelashes. Those pterodactyl wings gonna carry you away today. Hey, tonight we're looking at the breeze does not go away tonight. It actually gets stronger as the night goes on. No kidding. The temperature is gonna drop down to 76 tonight, but again, the gust's gonna get up to 21. Same with tomorrow. It'll start to die off a little bit on Saturday, but my goodness, it's just going to be windy, windy, windy today and tonight. Anyway, we want to say thanks to you guys for tuning in. We've got a great show today. We've got folks coming in from NOAA who are going to be telling us all about what they've got going on here in the Marianas. There is a ship in town, and it is a research vessel. It's called the Nautilus. This is not the one from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. This is just the Nautilus itself. It stays on top of the water, but it's got cool stuff that goes under the water, and it's going to blow you guys away. So we're going to have them in. They're going to be doing a presentation tonight, and we're going to be there for it. And I'm really excited to see how this goes down, because we're getting a little preview of their presentation today. That's something that doesn't normally get to happen, because normally they just come in to the studio or something like that. But because we've got all of the fancy schmancy stuff here, we're going to be able to get them in studio with their gear, with all their cool stuff and their presentation. So I'm really excited about that. So get ready. Megan and her team from the Nautilus about to go live with us here. They're going to be coming in here in about 10 minutes or so. And knowing them, they'll probably be early. They're like NOAA people. Yeah, we're going to have them in. Give you an idea of what we're going to be looking at. Hold on. Man. And then later, we're going to get to more stuff that's going on here locally. And I am burning up about one of them. And you can see it if you look in the ticker. One of the things that we're going to be talking about. But first, here's a look at the Nautilus. This is what we're going to be talking about today. Really excited about that. These folks coming in today. It is going to be a very aquatic day. But again, like, one of the things that what grinds my gears is this story that was in the paper today. It's about a local ruling in our local courts, chipping away at the years of experience and the common sense approach to fighting crime. Our police officers dealt a blow in court with the recent ruling that says basically, hey, you guys are okay, but not okay. And again, I got to go. It's the public defender's office. And they're leaning on a law that went through the Supreme Court years ago. But again, like, this is a tough one for me. And the reason why I remember this, because this went to the Crisosimo case. No, not that one, not the murder case. But this goes about Crisosimo when he was on for the when he got busted for ICE over in CK down by Buntalan. There's that little creep area through the overgrown area. And a police officer was driving in there, noticed the guy who was driving the car backing out was doing too fast. It's only a one-way in, one-way out. So the police officer, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, just got out of his car because the car was like right up to him. He's like, hey, you guys all right? And while he did that, he saw some ice and he saw some drug paraphernalia like in plain sight. He's like, okay, you guys, you're under arrest, right? Seems fair enough, right? No, so it was an easy conviction, not a problem. Public Defender's Office brought that up through the Supreme Court, local Supreme Court, and got it overturned, saying that it was they held him improperly, and it was an improper search because there was no reason for them to get out and check that out. Well, the thing is that the police that said that they were able to do that. They patrol that area because they deem it as a high crime area. The police from the CNMI know their property. They know their community. They know what's there. And yeah, I was there. I covered it. I mean, like, I was not happy about it, but thanks for this. Thanks for this, by the way. The police were there. They go and drive into this little area because it's like a turnaround spot. It's probably a hookup kind of spot. It's like one of those off the road kind of places that you wouldn't normally see. But you go over there, and they go there because they figure it's a high crime area. Things can happen over there. CK is a rough spot. We're at that time too. The police commissioner at the time said that CK was the crime capital of Saipan. Again, that's like 11 years ago, right? And so they're doing their part to patrol the community. So they get these guys who are apparently smoking ice underneath an ironwood tree at the beach, and they were leaving when they saw the cop come. They're like, let's go. And so Michael Sato was the assistant public defender at the time. He's the one who tried it and won the case in Supreme Court, and said that, hey, the DPS, they can't just pull people over. They can't just stop people like that. They have to have a reason for it. Kind of makes sense, but they said the guy backed up. They're like, well, a little erratic. Said, well, they didn't write him a ticket for driving erratically. They said, oh, the guy just pulled out. And it was a one way in, one way out. It's like they illegally detained him because they stopped and got out of their car just to check him out and say, hey, you know, what gives? I don't know. He cited that, you know, it's like it could be a racially motivated thing and all this other stuff. I'm like, dude, are you trying to make case law for the United States? Or are you dealing with the cases that are here in Saipan, right? And because the cases here in Saipan, not a lot of Chamorros being prosecuted because of their race, right? There's not like a target going after Chamorros by Chamorro and Carolinian police officers, right? Come on, that's not what happened. You don't need to work the job you have, not the job that you're trying to get to later. And so, like for this one, it bothered me. Anyway, Supreme Court though did rule in their favor, and so they cite something similar to that in this order. Actually, they don't actually cite the case, but they use the same argument because it came out of the same place, came out of the public defender's office, and saying the same thing about like that you can't just inspect the vehicle. Now for this one. The one that's in the paper today, it stinks. It just stinks of the same kind of stuff. So apparently, do you remember this? Going back a while, there was we posted it, that the police were looking for a bad guy. Right, they were looking for a bad guy. They got the warrants out. They got an all points bulletin. They sent it to us. And that was when they were looking for Michael Olateman, right? Well, they found him, right? Man, that was back in June, no kidding. Well, anyway, because I could still go back and find it. So they found him. What they ended up doing, they found him. They got a tip saying that he was at Saipan, Vegas. So he's over there at Saipan, Vegas in a truck with his buddy. And so the police go over there at Saipan, Vegas, find them hanging out in the parking lot. Again, at Saipan, Vegas. This is not at their house. This is not at somebody's creep shack or something like that. They're in the parking lot over at Saipan, Vegas, in a truck. And they said, hey, you're the bad guy we're looking for. Turn around, get your cuffs. And now the guy that he's with, they're in that vehicle. The vehicle is not registered. Right? So they run the plates anyway while they're there. And they're like, hey, if you're out on bail, you're not supposed to also be hanging out with bad guys. Right? So they find this guy hanging out with the driver of the truck. Doesn't own the truck, but he was the driver of this black Toyota Hilux. So, like, the bad guy was the passenger. The guy driving the truck is not related to him. But what they end up doing, they search the guy. They get him out. They charge him, the bad guy. They put him in the back of the car and all that other stuff. Now, one of the other police officers, he's like, hey, wait a minute. He's in violation of his bail conditions. He's supposed to be on house arrest. This guy, who is the driver or the operator of that vehicle, was on house arrest. But there he is at Saipan, Vegas in the parking lot. So you got to arrest him, right? Right? He's violation of his bail conditions. Pick him up. And why did they know that? Because the police officers are pretty sharp. They said, hey, wait a minute. You're not supposed to be out here at Saipan, Vegas. You're in house arrest. And at Saipan, Vegas, the house always wins. And you don't live in this house. So they say, hey, here we go. You're coming with us. This your car. These are your keys. All right, cool. Let's impound your vehicle, too. Well, your vehicle's being impounded because it's not registered. And you'd think if you got that guy, you could check out his stuff anyway, right? If you arrest somebody, you can pat him down and all that other stuff. Why wouldn't you check his car? So they impound his vehicle. They bring it to DPS, and go figure, while they bring in this vehicle that's not registered, while this guy's violating his bail conditions, they find bad stuff in his truck. What do they find? Well, they send the dogs in there, and they find, go figure, drug stuff. Hashtag drug stuff. So while they're doing that, they're like, all right, well, we got to bring some charges against them. Where are those charges going to be? Oh, okay. We're going to get you for all this other bad stuff. We're going to get you for having drugs on you inside the vehicle that you're driving that isn't yours, that isn't registered. Okay. So now the public defender's office, heroes of the people, providing legal counsel for those who cannot otherwise provide it for themselves. It is a right, not a privilege. They end up saying, you can't do that. Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Half a day. All right, so they end up saying, you can't do that. We're going to end up cutting this a little bit short because we're going to take a real quick break because our guests are starting to come in. But they end up doing that. And what ends up happening now, they say, hey, we know that's a high crime area, so we were able to check that area out. We found that these guys were there. They find the stuff inside the truck when they're searching it and everything. But now the judge ruled that you're not able to do that. So they found not just crystal meth inside of his car. They found 9mm ammunition. This is somebody who's on bail, who's on house arrest, who's got ammo and drugs in their vehicle. By the way, this is not a regular everyday occurrence, right? This is not cool. And we should really value what these guys are doing. And they kind of got this arm. Now, we're going to come back to this later. And there's no real smooth segue. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a real quick break and start getting us ready because we have an absolute amazing show for you this morning. No, Tobak Castro, that's right. I see you in the comments. You're absolutely right. And we're going to talk more about this. It is great to see all you guys in the comments. In fact, before we get out of here, I want to say, hey, Eric, thanks for tuning in this morning. Great to see you. Tobak Castro, the Tint Man from Dan. Jim Bob Kigman, oh my God, we got real expertise in the house right now. And I want to get back in and talk about this later if you guys are able to stick around. Jermel, great to see you. Thank you for watching. This is great to see you. Who else do we got in there? Norman, oh my gosh, Norman, dude, I see your car driving around Saipan all the time, your yellow Toyota that I'm still used to seeing it as yours with the same sticker on it too, the National Honor Society. Juan Hucka, great to see you again this morning. Thanks for tuning in. And all you guys. Again, we're going to be back in just a little bit. Bruce Camacho, the man, the myth, the legend. I see you're over there on the Good Morning Marianas page. Go ahead. And by the way, if you're watching, wherever you're watching, switch over to the NMI News Service page. All right. You're going to be able to get the comments right away. And we're going to bring you guys in. So we're going to take a real quick break. When we come back, we're going to have some really cool talks going on about what's going on here in the waters all around us on a really cool ship with some really smart people doing really great things. All right, so thanks for being here, and we'll see you in just a bit.
Paradise Dental's giving you the gas. Well, not that kind of gas. You already know that Paradise Dental has the most affordable coverage in the entire Marianas, and now we've got something special just for new customers. And now for a limited time, Paradise Dental is offering free gas vouchers for new signups for their coverage plan. If you sign up for a singles plan, you'll get a $10 gas voucher. If you sign up for a couples plan, that's a $15 gas voucher. And if you sign up for the whole family plan, that's a $20 gas voucher right after your first visit. So hurry down to Paradise Dental and sign up for the CNMI's most affordable dental coverage today. These gas vouchers are limited, and with smiles like these, you know they're going to go fast.
drops.
It's a great day to be up 3-0. I'll tell you that. It probably is not great to be down. I'm Brad Rosala, and I'm the owner for Commonwealth Communications.
And I am Jojo Alipuzu. I am the owner of Island Image and Ocean.
And this is our joint venture, Sideline Studios. This whole concept that we have of doing all these live stream productions and covering news and doing live shows and everything, it wouldn't happen if we didn't have a great partner like IT&E, someone who can handle the bandwidth and provide it and then get us what we need when we need it and then be a real partner for us for all the events, whether we're doing live sporting events, broadcasts. All of these things happen because of our partnership with IT&E.
With IT&E providing us with the fiber and point-to-point and even the MBRs, it's just a great piece of equipment to use when we're broadcasting our sports, our events, our performances, especially our cultural performances. And it's just great to share our culture here in the Marianas with the world. And IT&E has been there from the get-go.
The thing I like best about working with IT&E is how willing they are to come out and find a solution. Even for Liberation Day, we thought we had a pretty good solution for our live stream setup, and it turns out that we did not have the right setup that we thought we needed. That day, just before the parade, reached out to Paul and said, here's our situation. What do you think? He's like, we're gonna figure this out. While he's sitting there barbecuing, getting ready for the parade to start, he starts burning up the phone lines, calling everybody in IT&E, what can we do, what's the right solution? They left their families to do this stuff and get us the equipment that we needed to broadcast live. That's over and above, that's on a holiday, that's when he was out there spending time with his family.
That's why IT&E is just the best, just really in touch with the people and the community.
I recommend IT&E to everybody. Tell them the options are there and you can choose whoever you want and then figure out what you think is the best. But when you're ready, when you're tired of having your calls disconnected or not having service, then you reach out to the guys from IT&E.
My name is Kelly. I've never been good at giving up. And that's okay, because I have big plans. This might sound crazy right now, but someday, I will be the captain of my own ship.
The captain.
Attention on deck.
I'll steer it through new waters. And I'll stand up to the biggest storms. Me and my crew will fight back against the toughest enemies. I'll lead the sailors on my ship, my way. And together, we will always do what is right. I'll show the world any girl can be a captain. I'll show them that I am enough. No matter what comes my way, I'll stay the course. Because history won't remember those who took the easy way out. My name is Kelly, and it means determination.
Nothing like a little feedback. You know, the comment section is good enough, but you know, not used to having the speaker on there and blowing people's ears out. Good morning, Marianas, and welcome back. Yes, that music that you're hearing is the theme of the Love Boat. Now, that's not exactly on par with what we're going to be talking about, but it is ship related, so thought we'd have a little fun with that. Anyway, welcome back. It is 7:29 in the morning here on Thursday, March 27th, and boy, do we have a great guest in studio for you. So much stuff happens in our waters that we have no idea about. There's so many treasures and mysteries in the deepest waters on the planet, and we've got someone in studio who's going to help us talk about all this from NOAA.
Ocean Exploration Trust.
Ocean Exploration Trust, which is way cooler than NOAA. Yeah, take that, Steve McKagan. We've got Megan Cook with us this morning. Megan, thanks so much for being here today.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure. I'm so excited to be here, talk with you, talk with the community about some really exciting expeditions we have coming up into the deep oceans of the Marianas. So half a day, thanks for having me on.
Well, I'm excited. So now you're here to talk about what you guys are doing, the ship that you're on, the research, but it's not just going to be talking to us. I know you are talking to us today, but like tonight you've got something going on as well.
That's right. I want to invite everybody out to American Memorial Park tonight. If you are intrigued by what we're sharing, there's a lot more left to learn and lots to see. We have 2 expeditions coming up where we'll be exploring the deep waters off of the Marianas Archipelago. Lots of ways for people to get involved. We live broadcast 24 hours a day. So if you like this show, come for a little deep sea TV on nautiluslive.org. So we'll be talking about our organization and the 2 expeditions coming up in May and June. Tonight, 5:30 p.m., American Memorial Park.
I love it. So nautiluslive.org?
That's right.
And so even when you guys are just docked or at port or something like that, it's still live?
Yep, it'll be live. We'll kick off our season. Our first expeditions of the year will be here in the Marianas. Our real expedition mission is to go to places on Earth that have never been explored before, which is the vast majority of the ocean still. And not just to go to those places, but to share what we're learning. So we have a mission to explore those places, bring in new technologies for the ocean, and then through live broadcasting, social media, programs with schools, we really want to excite the next generation of explorers and stewards, which here in the Marianas, thousands of years of stewarding these oceans, such a deep, wonderful ocean tradition, and we want to be part of building upon that.
Well, I love the name of the ship, by the way. It makes me think of like underwater movies and stuff like that.
Absolutely. That's its inspiration, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
That was a lot of fun watching that movie. But this is like the real life, real deal stuff. Now, you guys, how long have you been out in the waters? I feel like I have seen this ship before.
Yes. It'll be its first time here to the Marianas Archipelago, but the ship has been exploring all around the world for, this is our 16th season, and we've spent the last 10 exploring in the Pacific Ocean exclusively. So really had the wonderful gifts to work across the Central Pacific. Last year, our first time into the Western Pacific, visiting island cousins in Palau, but this will be our first time coming up here.
Well, I'm excited about it. Now, is there any opportunity to actually take a look at the ship up close and in person?
Yeah, we'll be using the commercial port in Guam this year, but we're looking forward to coming back next year and trying to work out getting it into port here. There's lots of ways to check it out, though, nautiluslive.org. There's also a full VR tour of the ship, so you can check that out. It's one of the over 150 education resources we have on our website. Great ways to literally walk around the ship, open up doors, and head into different spaces that you're interested in to take a look around.
Wow, we're looking at the website right now and showing everybody, and it looks pretty awesome. I mean, like you've got stuff that you could take a virtual tour of this ship.
Yeah, that's right. So we stream 24 hours a day. There are thousands of videos, photo albums. A big part of our mission is really helping students and the next generation get connected with explorers that might inspire them. So there's over 1,600 different professional explorers. Now that doesn't just mean scientists, that also means engineers, technology specialists, communicators, artists, chefs, all those folks who are part of making something like an expedition go to sea be successful. And we really want to help students find a path that inspires them, a role model that inspires them. So when we're out live, we'll be streaming. That kicks off in May, and people can choose what video channel to watch. They can send in questions to the team, and we'll answer them live on air. So it's really a dialogue. Our goal is to bring you to these places. When we can't, bring people to the bottom of the ocean, we're going to bring the place to the people and make those connections. So we're so excited to be out here and be using our deep sea technology and bringing it to the community.
So let's before we get into that, because we're going to hear all about it. Can you tell us a little bit about you and everything and how you got into all of this?
Oh, yeah. I'm from the fantastic oceanography state of Idaho in the United States. I grew up in the desert, and it was thanks to my parents getting me a library card, really, and some fantastic teachers in my life that I was kind of like, this ocean thing seems pretty interesting. I don't really know it. I don't really have experience with it, but I was interested in being outside, and I loved working on a team, and so I thought science might be something I wanted to check out more. So I studied marine biology. I've had amazing opportunities to learn and be part of the ocean and work with communities around the world. But I'd never taken a deep sea class, and it wasn't actually until I watched Nautilus Live. I watched some amazing discoveries happen and just was like, who are these people? What is this, and how can I be part? And I applied to an education program was actually how I got involved the first time, and now I've spent 13 years traveling around the world with this ship, and still the joy every day. You've no idea what the ocean will reveal next. It's fantastic being part of finding new underwater mountains, revealing new species, and really helping people connect with this part of the planet that keeps all of us healthy, all of us alive, all of us connected, and we still have so much left to learn to be able to take care of it well.
Wow is right. So I'm looking at the video that's playing on there too, and well, that's a big old sunfish, which is pretty cool. So do you have your own boat too? Or you just get to ride on these boats?
Yeah, used to, no longer a boat owner myself, boat owner at work, part of this wonderful team with Ocean Exploration Trust. So get my go-to-sea fix with this team. So fortunate.
I love that there's an actual Nautilus on here on this video.
It was the first time we've ever seen one. So in 16 years as an organization, we had never, been in the Western Pacific, the home of the Nautilus. And so our international audience, that was in Palau. And we were, so grateful all the time for what the ocean chooses to show us and, what we're able to share with the world. And if everyone goes to nautiluslive.org and checks out that Nautilus video, you'll hear everyone absolutely lose their minds. When we're broadcasting, inside the control room, everyone's wearing a microphone and a headset. Mm-hmm. And so you're hearing kind of the over-the-shoulder conversation of this team working together and really getting a live look at how we do this work. And sometimes it's very silly, a lot of times it's very fun. It's just a big conversation with the world, and you'll hear them absolutely lose their minds if you go back and watch that video.
I automatically already think that this is the coolest thing ever. By the way, I don't know if you're going to get to it, maybe you're going to mention it, so I don't want you to skip ahead, but I was noticing, it looks like are you using lasers? Is that a rangefinder or something? Are you going to talk about that later?
Yeah, I can mention it now. When you're looking through a video camera, maybe somebody's thought about it in their phone when they've taken a picture, and you're sometimes the scale is a little hard to detect. You're like, is that a big thing far away, or is it a small thing up close? So we have a couple scaling lasers that we can turn on and off on the underwater vehicles, on the underwater robots that are always 10 centimeters apart. So they're about the width of your hand, and so you can kind of use it like a little measuring stick to say oh, that's okay, that would fit in your hand. Or sometimes we find things in the deep sea that are absolutely massive, corals bigger than cars, that are thousands of years old, and you can really put it into perspective when you see those two dots.
That's incredible. I didn't know if the light would, because light does different things with water, right? Mm-hmm. So I just didn't know if that would have a similar effect when it came to lasers, but very cool. All right, let's do this. You've got some really cool stuff to walk us through too. And this is something I'm excited about. It's something that we don't normally get out here. So let's see what you got. You got a little bit of a presentation. You can walk us through like some of the stuff that you're going to do?
Yeah, I'd love to share.
Awesome.
So, as I mentioned, Ocean Exploration Trust is the team that I work for. We're a US-based nonprofit, and our mission is to do a few things. Go explore parts of the ocean that have never been explored before while using new technologies to do it and share it with the world. And we're able to do this work through so many great partners. So the NOAA Office of Ocean Exploration is the partner that's bringing us out here. So we're really grateful to them for their support through the Ocean Exploration Cooperative Institute, which is basically just a community of different organizations whose goal is to move the ball forward on ocean exploration. How can we keep innovating the technologies and really advancing what we understand about the planet? So really, ocean exploration is a team sport. So it takes a lot of people to do this work. Our ship's name is Nautilus, hence the nautiluslive.org website. And Nautilus is home to about 50 people as a floating island when we head to sea. And we really use this ship differently than many other exploration or any other research ships in that we do on purpose go to places that we've never been before. And that means that we don't know what we'll find. That means we get to constantly have that excitement of new discovery, and what I like is the speed with which we can really share it. So when you go somewhere brand new, you know, any Dora the Explorer fans out there know you need a map. Most of the ocean is still unmapped, about 75% of it in kind of a modern resolution. So we have tools on the ship, sonars that can make maps of the seafloor, revealing new mountain ranges or changes in mountain ranges for things like volcanoes that may be erupting over time. Then we use big car-sized robots because our team are deep sea specialists. We're going far beyond where scuba diving could take you or some of those kinds of tools. So we use remotely operated vehicles, so no people inside them. They head down into the deep sea, bringing their own lights and cameras and lots of sensors and tools. And then everything that's coming up from all of those dozens of cameras, we share out with the world. So that all happens on nautiluslive.org. I know we already took a little peek at it, but come May, we'll kick off the season. You'll be able to watch a live map of where the ship is, pick your own channel of what video you want to watch, sending questions to the team, and really participate and be part of diving into these places.
Awesome.
Yeah, our expedition season this year, very special to kick it off here in the Marianas Archipelago. Our first time here. What a gift to be a guest in the waters of this place, and also will be kind of throughout the Western Pacific. So starting in May, going till September, you could leave this on your phone 24 hours a day and see whatever is happening in the ocean or above it. But this is just one of the most special places in the whole ocean. And having worked around the world and worked with audiences that are interested in ocean, I can tell you that the opportunity to come here to the Marianas, to the place that this community's stewards, so excited to bring this community to these places and also invite so many other people also to learn. This is a place where you have the oldest seafloor in the Pacific and also some of the newest. To the east of the islands, the Mariana Trench, famous, storied, very deep, and to the west, new volcanoes and new earth being formed at something that we call a spreading center. There's underwater hot springs there, hydrothermal vents. There's underwater volcanoes to the west of the island. So there's a lot to check out, lots of cool habitats, lots of cool animals, and really looking forward to learning more and building upon this community's care for this place and knowledge. So this is an underwater map. When we use those sonars, this is the kind of picture that you get. And the orange and red are the shallower, and you can see in black what's above the surface. So you have Guahan, Rota, Tinian, Saipan there in the map. And then to the east, those dark blue colors are deeper. That's the trench. And to the west, you can see some of those spiky mountains. And we call them seamounts, but they're underwater mountains, underwater volcanoes. So we'll have a couple expeditions visit some of these really different habitats. So to the west, those active volcanoes. To the east, something called a mud volcano, which is not a true volcano, but gurgles up mud and gas and sediment, and are very interesting because that's where we're kind of recycling parts of the Earth's crust, the skin of the planet, and in the trench. And so we'll be bringing a variety of different technologies and sharing all of it with people to see these places and really get to experience it. And that's what I love. We have a giant satellite dish on top of the ship. It looks a little bit like a golf ball. And that means that people can tune in and we can connect out to community really anywhere folks are gathered. So if audience members have ideas about, summer camps or programs they'd like to connect, we'd love to talk live with them from the ship and really make all of those connections. So I'm looking forward to this being the beginning of many conversations about the deep and sharing out the kinds of things we're seeing and the kinds of things we're finding. So our 2 expeditions will be in May and June this year. The first one early May, about 22 days. The ship will leave Guam, come up here and spend the majority of the time working with the Marianas Trench Marine National Monument, as well as working kind of to the west on the volcanoes and underwater hot springs, and to the east on some of the deep open plains in the ocean, habitats that really have not been surveyed before. And then in June, we'll be looking to study the water all above the Marianas Trench. There have been many ships that have come out here and several different expeditions that have gone to the deepest parts of the trench and found some really amazing things. Dr. Nicole Yamase, the first Pacific Islander and Micronesian woman to go to the deep sea, hero of mine, has been out here. But there's still so much to learn about the, almost 7 miles of water that sit above the trench. What kind of animals are there? What are those habitats like? How's it mix? What's going on? So that second expedition in June, we'll check out those trench habitats and the mud volcanoes too. So really invite people to come along with us. So many ways to get involved, 7 channels of social media, 24-hour-a-day streaming, or just come on down to American Memorial Park tonight, 5:30 p.m. We'll be having a big talk story, community chat, and lots more to see then.
That looks like it's going to be great. I mean, I love all of this stuff. We had a couple of questions that came in, by the way. So one was, hold on, let me scroll up a little bit. This is from Jimbo. It says, the video, everyone's getting excited from the whale fall a few years ago. Was that you?
Ooh, that's a good question. We did have a video off the coast of California. We stumbled upon a whale fall. So if it was that one a few years back, that was us, yes. Most videos, I feel like when you see the seafloor and then like a whole bunch of people suddenly excited and screaming, definitely some of our work. So that was a wild moment off the coast of California, also in a protected area driven by the community inside Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary. We stumbled upon this whale fall on the seafloor with all kinds of lavender purple octopus and cool fish eating it. Definitely a kind of spooky Halloween vibes of the seafloor, but an incredible moment to see this ecosystem that exists entirely in the dark. All these animals live their life in the deep, dark, cold, deep ocean, but are super important to the Earth overall.
Wow, and so do you find that there's a big reaction when you do bring light down there with some of the vehicles that you have and everything?
Yeah, we know some animals will, be tend away, like they'll be there before our cameras even can see them. But many other animals are not affected or stick around or are curious, which is always a treat. The camera, it is entirely dark in the parts of the ocean that we go to, 13,000, 20,000 feet. So bringing the lights along with us is part of that work. And we certainly know some animals will come real close, check us out, something new in their neighborhood.
I can't believe that's in Monterey. A million years ago, when I was in the Army, I was stationed out in California at Fort Ord, and we used to go to Monterey often, and because like no time away from the base, and go to the Monterey Bay, like the aquarium and everything is right there.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Love that place. And wow, I did not see this video before. I had no idea what he was talking about. And it is, here it is, it's EV Nautilus. It's your website, at least your YouTube channel has it on here. In fact, I'm trying to pull it up now so I could show some folks. You're like, hey, what are you guys talking about? Oh, hold on. This is you guys.
That's us.
Oh, it's a very short video. Oh, this one's a little bit longer. Here we go, 5 minutes or so.
There we go.
We're not going to watch the whole 5 minutes. But you can really hear them talking. Hold on. I'll turn off our microphones just so you can hear it.
We can't stop
Forward for, which is exciting. There have been over 170 expeditions all over the world, and a great job to this viewer pulling up one. We were actually trying to take a shortcut between two places that we wanted to check out on the side of an underwater mountain, a volcanic hill. And as we were kind of transiting across, moving the ROVs, flying across this open sedimented plain, all of a sudden, out of the darkness came this amazing whale fall. And we know that whales sink to the seafloor. They are then recycled, eaten by other animals. It's one way that carbon moves down to the seafloor and brings food to a place that otherwise is kind of waiting for food to sink slowly through the water. And so I think the dinner bell absolutely went off. All these animals descended here. There are some fish called eel pouts there, and rat tails, and some really incredible octopus. Also, some types of worms that are specialists in digesting bones. So bone-eating worms that burrow in. So we know that this would be likely within a few years. There's still many questions about how quickly something like this would be completely eaten, but you can also see those scaling lasers there. So those two green dots are 10 centimeters apart. You can kind of imagine putting your hand out and measuring. So, and the look down there, that is ROV Hercules, one of our remotely operated vehicles. That one's about the size of a Jeep. So you can kind of build a mental map of the size of this site on the seafloor.
Yeah, those. Well, I gotta put this one back on. Yeah, those scaling lasers are really handy here.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this thing was even bigger until I saw those things. Look at the octopus right there is waving. He's saying goodbye or take me. I want to go. But there's so many creatures down there, and a lot of fish, a lot of octopi. But again, so you said those are 10 centimeters apart. So
yes, that's right.
That's about the width of a hand.
Yeah, about 4 inches and 10 centimeters. So
No
put your hand
kidding.
up like that.
So that is incredible. Now I know why everybody was going excited about
It's
that.
definitely one of my favorites, no doubt.
Bruce Camacho says, please keep an eye out for Amelia Earhart. That's great. So,
Thanks, Bruce. Yeah, there are 3 million shipwrecks still waiting to be found in the world's oceans, so we've got plenty of stories left to find.
It says, are there any resources under the Marianas Trench? Hold on, sorry, it scrolled back already. Are there any resources under the Marianas Trench, and if that's why they made it a U.S. national park?
Yeah, good question. This will be our ship's first time there, but we work to build upon things that have been done before. As explorers, we don't want to go repeat other work when there's so much ocean exploration left to do. All of our data is public, so it'll all be out for managers and scientists in the community to check out. All the video, everything we find will be there. I don't know particularly. There's certainly resources like the cultural heritage connections of these oceans, and the biodiversity of these places are certainly tremendous resources, but I'm not aware of anything kind of from the energy standpoint that would be down in that environment.
Well, if you find one of these, let us know. We're gonna be following you guys and
Yes.
checking all this stuff out. And so, how does this work? I imagine if there's no light down there, then it doesn't really matter for you guys if it's daytime or nighttime. Do you work in 24-hour shifts with this kind of stuff, or is it kind of like research during the day only?
No, it's 24 hours a day on the Nautilus. We try and get as much exploration done as possible. And one of the advantages of using remotely operated tools, so no people inside these vehicles when they go to the seafloor, is robots don't have to eat, sleep, or go to the bathroom. So it works that our team works inside the control room on 4-hour shifts. So everyone at home could decide if they feel like they're kind of an 8 to 12 a.m. and p.m., a 12 to 4, or a 4 to 8. We divide up into those teams, and then around the clock, we'll send vehicles to the seabed, be exploring, making maps, recording the data, all talking together and talking with the world as we do it. There's a lot of places to go, so sometimes we'll limit dives to say, maybe let's be on this site for 24 hours and then we'll go and check out another one. So it's always a balancing act of how many different places do you go to versus how long might you want to stay at one place. And that's what this week was really about. We've taken an open call for science input from research managers and scientists and community all over the world, and we wanted to be here this week and had a stakeholder workshop where we brought together different local agencies, managers, community members, cultural experts, to talk about the plans, get their feedback, and also continue revising. You know, we've heard all these ideas of what we can do. We've got 22 days on the first expedition. We've got about 3 weeks on the second expedition. What are the top priorities? And we're also excited that we plan for the ship to be back next year. So also thinking about which of those ideas might we want to keep building towards in order to do more exploration and share more with the community long into the future.
You know, you mentioned something about, you know, you don't want to go to the same place that somebody's already researched and all that other stuff, but is there a little bit of selfishness sometimes that just says, but I didn't get to see it for myself. I still want to get in there and see it.
Oh, I mean, I want to see the whole ocean, and everything that the ocean shares with us is such a gift, and I'm excited that while I can't go to sea on all 5 expeditions this year, I'll absolutely be following along, and that means wherever I am, you know, if at home or I work somewhere else or traveling, like I can be there. So certainly there's all-time favorites, but I think every single person who's been on Nautilus, which as I mentioned, over 1,616 years from the ship's worked in 50 countries, like there's just too much. Not too much. There's the perfect amount of abundance and spectacular things in the ocean that everybody has that favorite moment for themselves.
Now, I did not serve in the Navy. I was an Army guy. But I have heard that the guys in the Navy, and sometimes they get something they have called a swim call, where when the ship will just be out there and you're able to jump off in the big ocean and just swim for a little bit and enjoy. Do you ever get to do anything like that on a research vessel?
There have been some swim calls, but it's not a super normal part of what we do. The ocean's so spectacular out there. I remember the first time I went to sea, and I was very like, I'm gonna swim. I wanna swim if they give us any chance. And you get out there, and one of the things I love about working in the ocean is it's very humbling. It really helps put in perspective what a big planet it is, and what an amazing complexity of life and food chain and everything that's out there, and reminds you that you're a pretty small part of it. So I've swum a few times in the open ocean. It is spectacular, but won't be planning any swim calls as a regular part.
As you mentioned that, I was going to say, when you do that, do you just jump in and like, oh, there's a lot of stuff bigger than me out here. I'm getting back out right away.
I mean, mostly, you can even stand on the ship. You know, all of our fishers here will know that anything that is stationary tends to draw life to it in the ocean. So when we're exploring with the ROVs, the ship actually holds position. You could think about it a little bit like taking a dog on a walk with a leash, except this leash is 13,000 feet long with a robot at the end of it. So the ship holds still. Underneath that are the 2 robots, and then we slowly move across the seafloor at the pace that the ROVs are flying. And so that means that, you know, maybe for 24 hours of a dive, we might be within a few miles of the same location. So it'll mean small bait fish will be attracted. Sometimes mahi come to visit. Sometimes oceanic whitetips or, you know, other spectacular ocean relatives that want to come visit. So you don't even have to get in to see the wildlife, and it's often beautiful to. Inside the control van, it's a dark room. You're looking at screens. You're looking at this other world, or this same world that is, you know, miles and miles below your feet. And then you step outside into the bright sunshine, and you might get to see an amazing bird fly by, or you know, some fish aggregated on the surface. So you really feel like you're a part of it.
All right, so this may be more personal than it is, because you might not be able to answer for everybody. But I loved the taste and texture and everything of garlic fried octopus. It's so good. But I stopped eating it because when I was scuba diving, I had an octopus come over and be my friend. And he was hanging out with me, like curled up on my arm for about like 30 minutes or so. Yeah. And wherever we were going, he only freaked out when I was, I don't remember what it was. There was something. But anyway, something startled me, and that startled him. He's like, all right, it's my time to go. I'm like, all right, see you, buddy. Yeah. So ever since then, because he was my pal, I got to pet him, and like, he wasn't my pet, but I was like petting him and hanging out, and he was comfortable with me. So I don't eat him anymore. But that doesn't stop me from eating every other fish that's out there. I don't have any problem with that. So when you guys are out there, I imagine there are some people who aren't really big fans of catching fish and eating them, but are there people who would throw a fishing line off of the back of this and go trolling while you guys are out there?
It totally depends where we are. We always have to follow whatever the permits and regulations are of the place. So very often the ship is working inside sanctuaries or protected areas, so we're always following those regulations. There have been times you can fish off of Nautilus for sure, but generally we load up, all the groceries, all the snacks and everything in port and then head out there. But it's a very special thing to feel very connected, and that's what an amazing experience with an octopus. I have had similar experiences, and just those moments of connection where you're like, oh man, I am part of this ocean. I'm visiting this home that they have. That's really what I feel like a lot in the deep sea, that we're getting these like precious little glimpses of interacting with these animals, seeing their world, getting to, the ocean is revealing some parts of it. We have so much left to learn about these places, and a real drive, a real urgency to understand it as, the world continues to change. And so I just love those little human moments as well, even when a robot helps us have them.
Well, now we've got, again, you're going to be doing a bunch of different types of research out here, right?
That's right.
And so what are you most excited about of what you're going to be going out there and researching?
Yeah, I'm super excited to bring this different combination of technologies together. So the Marianas Archipelago has had a lot of research, some mapping, some many different ROV dives from vehicles and teams from all over the world here before, but there are still some gaps. So I'm so excited that NOAA Ocean Exploration has partnered with us to bring not only our remotely operated vehicles, but also some autonomous tools, some tools that can go to full ocean depth. So we're really bringing a lot of technology to get a lot of data that will all be publicly available and accessible, and really designed to meet the needs of this community. So that's what I want to do. I want to do science. These are not our expeditions, they're everybody's expeditions. So when we get to leave behind something very meaningful for the community, be able to show these places, answer questions about what's just off the coastline, that's the part that's meaningful to me. Also the underwater hot springs, the hydrothermal vents are some of the most incredible ecosystems. They have very like boiling cauldron energy, but there are animals that live entirely off of the chemicals coming from the earth here, off of the methane, off of the gases that are there. So there are they're really oases of life in the deep sea, and I've never had the chance to see the ones that are here. So right alongside everybody else, I'm going to be tuned in to Nautilus Live, watching and just really checking those out.
Well, you said it. I mean, the full depth of the ocean, like. This is something it's unique in the whole planet, and
yes,
it's
very special.
Not far away, and you get to really see all of it through these tools that you've got. And how many different types of submersibles do you guys have on there? Because I saw that overhead view of the other ROV. So how many do you have?
Yeah, great question. So we usually explore with 2 ROVs. They work in the buddy system, just like going to the beach, going for a swim. One ROV's job is to bob up and down and be heavy. We call it decouple the motion. Basically, if you put a camera just on a string and bobbed it up and down in the ocean, you might get a little seasick watching that video feed. So by putting one vehicle that bobs up and down and another one then connected to that with a neutrally buoyant tether, one camera can be very stable while the other one's moving around. So we usually work with 2 ROVs, remotely operated vehicles, but we'll be bringing along 3 other types of tools on this one. A deep sea lander, which can go down to the full ocean depth, stay there for 24 hours, record the sounds, gather information about the water and the temperature. A profiler, which is really designed to not be on the sea surface or the sea floor, but to move in between, up and down, and help us learn a lot about the water column in between, or all the habitats where the fish move and the fishers visit. And then we'll also have an autonomous vehicle. So think about a robot without a leash that is pre-programmed. It's really a mapping specialist and can take a few, sediment cores, tell us a little bit about the mud and the seafloor, but it'll be pre-programmed with missions. And bringing all those other tools helps us be efficient. It means that we can be collecting multiple types of data at once while we're exploring with the ROVs and streaming that video and answering questions. At the same time, we can be gathering data that'll help us plan the next dives or learn more about another ecosystem.
Wow. So is there something that's really blown you away that you've been on and seen while you're out there?
Oh man, I'm a big fan of deep sea corals. I can tell you, I started my science career working on coral reefs and coral reef fish. So I was like pretty mind blown about the idea that there are corals that live in the deep ocean entirely without the sunlight. So corals on the reef get a little help from their plant friends inside their cells, turn sunlight into energy, much like a tree photosynthesizes. Corals in the deep sea don't have that opportunity. No light reaches them, so they are totally filter feeders or capture feeders. Like I always think I have nieces and nephews that I love to be like, okay, we're polyps. All right, you have all your little like stinging polyps out, and they're capturing their food as it comes down. So these are super elders of the deep sea. They grow slowly, but they grow absolutely enormous. So there are deep sea corals that are 4,000 years old in the ocean, which means, ancient voyagers were coming to these islands at the same time that individual animal in the deep sea started growing. So some of these absolute forests of deep sea corals grow across the sides of seamounts, and they've been in place for a really long time. So that really inspires my care, my love for these places, but also, I studied this long into school and was totally unaware of this habitat. And so that inspires and motivates me. I know how much we have left to learn about the Earth and about this planet, and it's like flying through, they're kind of rainbow colored pastels. There's corals that are orange and pink and purple and blue and yellow and huge and all kinds of animals. In the same way you'd go to the forest and see birds and lizards and bugs living in the trees, deep sea corals and deep sea sponges are like those trees. They create all these habitats for tons of other animals. So I always love to go to those places where there's so much life, it's so biodiverse, and really reminds you what a special and connected place the ocean is.
How about our coral? I mean, we've heard a lot about it. I've heard, we've heard the terms of bleaching and stuff like that. Not recently necessarily, but is there a general state of health for our coral that you could comment on at all?
Oh, it's a great question. This is my first time being a guest here, so I'm not the expert that we need to talk about the corals right here, but I'm excited to learn. I'm excited to put on a mask and snorkel and see the beautiful reefs. This community's stewarded these reefs so long into the past and will so long into the future. I'm excited to get to learn from them and the experts you have here.
Oh yeah, and we've got folks here who have been on restoration projects for coral and everything, and the seeding and all that.
Incredible.
So are you going to be linking up with any of those folks while you're here?
Yeah, we had the great chance to meet a lot of folks from all kinds of agencies yesterday. About 40 people came out to our experts workshop. Had the wonderful opportunity to sail on the canoe with 500 sails and lots of other organizations. So thank you so much to everyone who came and contributed all of their expertise and helped guide these expeditions and their development. We're thrilled to be here on behalf of our sponsors and partners like NOAA Ocean Exploration and the Cooperative Institute that are bringing these technologies, but the local community are such experts in this place, and our goal is to be in service to the needs that you have about your own ocean. So very cool to get to learn those, and excited to keep building on those relationships.
So tonight you can learn more by seeing your presentation. Is it just you? Which is worth the show. Yeah. Do you have anyone else with you that's going to be out there at Memorial Park?
Yes, there's 3 folks from the Ocean Exploration Trust team, including our chief scientist and our manager of our mapping system. So if you're interested in deep sea corals, if you're interested in underwater maps and the topography, the incredible seascape and landscape, some of the most complex on Earth that you have right here around the islands, or if you want to just come talk story, ask questions, see some really cool deep sea videos, a little preview. There will be a lot of great clips as part of it. 5:30 American Memorial Park tonight.
All right, and that's the inside the theater. You're not going to be at the amphitheater outside.
That's right. So come on in.
That means there's aircon and everything, so it's going to be a nice, comfortable watch. If you haven't been there, you're missing out, and this is like the time that you're going to want to be there. Checking some other things. Are you going to visit any schools while you're here?
Ooh, yeah. We do have some science communication fellows. Every expedition on Nautilus sails with educators aboard, and we have some elementary educator from Saipan and 3 educators from Guam that will be sailing on these expeditions. So hoping to get out and visit their schools. But one of the great things about Nautilus is we'll be streaming live, and we have a broadcast studio on the ship to connect directly with schools. So, I'm excited to certainly get to meet some of the local students, but also to have the local teachers while they're at sea. And we have 2 University of Guam students that will be coming out, as well as an alum of our program from here on Saipan is coming back out as one of our contractors, one of our mentors, to help teach the next round of interns. Shout out to Erica Guerrero, who's coming back out with us this year here from Saipan. So really excited to make those links with the schools.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Can't imagine what it would be like to be out there. Got a message from Jim Bob, says, if you've not read it, Richard Powers' new novel, Playground, is about the ocean exploration and the connection with the seafloor, and features small Pacific islands. Highly recommended.
Awesome. Love a good reading tip. Plenty of time while you're out at sea to read a good book. And if folks are interested, want to learn more, we also have on nautiluslive.org in our education section, we've had some of our favorite ocean books all collected together there too. So there's some great kid books about the deep sea. There's, and Tuna, you can get your Nautilus Live activity book also on the website. So if you have young kids, coloring pages, word search, learn about the deep ocean. And we'll be creating lots more new education resources based off of what we learn here in partnership with Mariana Trench Marine National Monument. And so stay tuned for lots more local new education resources too.
All right, so I know we've only got you for about another 5 minutes. At least I don't want to keep you longer than 5 minutes, because I know you've got another thing at 8:30. Yeah. So when you're done with this, and there's so much for this, and so I'm skipping over now. I'm just thinking, when you're done with this part of the project, when you're done with this, what becomes next? What do you do with all that research that you get from this, and what's next in your journey?
Yeah, all of our Nautilus's data is publicly accessible, which that's really our goal, is to be sure that this data, we have the tools and the capacity to help bring collecting this, and we want it to be the data that folks need, and then we'll help share it out with the world. And so many times there are discoveries that continue to be made off of Nautilus data for years, decades into the future. So that's really another part of kind of our science team's work, is to curate experts both locally and internationally that have the specific expertise. So when, my part is to say like, wow, look at that cool crab. I've never seen anything like that. And then with our live connection, we're able to have, often hundreds of experts online with us at the same time. And we can say, hey, who is our crab gal and like our crab expert? Do they recognize this? Do we need to learn more? And if it is truly brand new, an expedition a few years ago had 30 new species from one single expedition. And that science work takes a little time to come out, but will continue to be processed and shared. All the mapping will come into, there are some international partners that bring together all the mapping data, and those slowly get updated. So, your Google Maps, as you zoom in and zoom in, there are some parts, if you zoom in and it's kind of fuzzy, and there's some parts where it looks crystal clear. Our data will help be part of that. But awesome. Immediately it goes to all the local partners here that are working on fisheries, environmental quality, monitoring the monument, and put that data in their hands right away.
You live a life of exploration and discovery. Yeah. Is that not the coolest thing? Really, that is such your life is an adventure.
It is. I absolutely love it. And I love that, I wanted to do this because, it would be great if I just got to go on ships, but I'm not really interested in that. I wanted to have a way that my friends, my family, my grandmother, anybody I know can live this adventure too, because no one can go to school and study and major in ocean exploration. It's not a thing. We all have unique paths that have brought us here, whether that's a technical school, an engineering program, a culinary school, being a scientist, being an artist, being a storyteller, a filmmaker, a broadcaster, you name it, a professional mariner, a captain. it takes a great team to come together and do this work, and I get to work with some of the most remarkable people, including the local educators and students that'll be out with us, and it's just the best.
Well, I want to encourage everybody to get down there and watch this tonight. And especially just because they get to have a great interaction with you and learn more about it. My kids would love to hear about this. My kids who are not exactly sure what they want to be yet when they grow up.
Totally.
But I hear marine biologists a lot, and the love of the ocean is a big part of them. You know, we get in the water, we get around the beach, we love the wildlife that's out there as well.
Amazing.
So this would be something not to miss. And it's a limited amount of seats. So you want to get there early. It starts at 5:30. So the sooner you can get in and get yourself a seat. My crystal ball says it's going to be standing room only over there. And people standing along the walls just to catch a little glimpse of this. So.
Awesome. Yeah, we really hope folks will come out. Lots more to learn, and we're excited to answer questions, and we're excited to, get input on the plans that we're building, and also hear ideas about what folks are curious about, what they want to learn, as we look ahead to this being the start of more time with Nautilus here.
All right. Well, thanks so much for coming in today. This was such a treat. I'm so excited about it. Really looking forward to it. And if you didn't have something to do at 8:30 and we didn't have something to go to, I would try to keep you longer to talk more about this stuff. But thanks.
Well, we'll be back.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that part of the presentation with you to share with everybody. And, good luck out there.
Thanks so much. What a pleasure.
All right. So, folks, we're gonna wrap up in a little bit. Wait. Can you ask the unidentified phenomenon question? Ooh. I'm not familiar with this. Do you know anything about this?
You don't. It sounds unidentified. It sounds like we should go explore it.
Yes, Bruce. Too late. Why did you ask that like 2 minutes ago? Now we're actually leaving here. By the way, Bruce, we have a phone number. You're allowed to call in if you have questions. But we're going to wrap it up for this part. I'm going to come back in a little bit, and then we're going to call it a show. So I'm going to throw it a commercial for a little bit. But I want to say thank you to our guests for coming in today. Megan, thanks. This has just been a treat.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me, and looking forward to exploring a lot more.
Yeah, and now we're going to be following you guys on all the channels. We'll talk more about that in a bit. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap us up for this part of the segment, and we'll come back. Don't worry, we're not going anywhere for long. So we'll see you in just a little bit. In fact, what I'm going to do before I throw it to a commercial, I am going to give myself a little extra time by giving you the updated update from the Associated Press. So let's do that before we go. All right. Here you go.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. President Trump's imposing new taxes on imported autos.
A 25% tariff on all cars that are not made in the United States. If they're made in the United States, there's absolutely no tariff.
He maintains it'll raise $100 billion in revenues and spur growth.
Business is coming back to the United States so that they don't have to pay tariffs. And I think also because of November 5th, the election, they're very happy. AI is coming back to levels that nobody's ever seen before. It's a new, sort of a new business, I guess, when you think about it. But it's plants are going up all over the United States.
The Atlantic's released the signal chat among senior Trump administration national security officials. It shows Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth provided the exact times of warplane launches and when bombs would drop on Yemen's Houthi rebels before they were airborne. Hegseth characterized it this way.
Team update is to provide updates in real time. General updates in real time. Keep everybody informed. That's what I did. That's my job.
Russia's convicted 23 captured Ukrainians on terrorism charges.
The defendants include 14 current or former fighters of the elite Azov Brigade, which Russia has designated a terrorist group, and 9 women and 1 man who worked as cooks or support personnel, according to Russian sources. 12 defendants were not in court. 11 had returned to Ukraine in 2 prisoner exchanges and were convicted in absentia. 1 more died in custody last year. All had been charged with staging a violent coup d'etat and organising the activities of a terrorist organisation. They've been given sentences ranging from 13 to 23 years in prison. Memorial, a prominent Russian rights group that won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2022, has designated all the defendants as political prisoners. I'm Charles de la Tesma.
And the Supreme Court's upheld Biden administration regulations on ghost guns. This is AP News. Seth Sutel now with the AP Markets Report.
More drops for Nvidia, Tesla, and other big tech stocks dragged Wall Street lower. The S&P 500 fell 1.1% Wednesday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 132 points. It's about 0.3%. The Nasdaq Composite gave back 2%. Big tech stocks have been at the center of Wall Street's recent sell-off. They had soared to new heights in recent years on enthusiasm over AI technology. Cintas climbed 5.8%. The maker of work uniforms reported stronger profit in the latest quarter than analysts had expected. Treasury yields rose in the bond market. The yield on the 10-year Treasury note climbed to 4.35%. Seth Sutel, New York.
And a Congressional Budget Office report says the government's on track to hit its statutory debt ceiling when the country runs short of money to pay its bills as early as August, unless the White House and lawmakers work out a deal to either lift or abolish it. I'm Ben Thomas, AP News. Thanks for listening.
PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care. Paradise Dental's giving you the gas. Well, not that kind of gas. You already know that Paradise Dental has the most affordable coverage in the entire Marianas, and now we've got something special just for new customers. And now for a limited time, Paradise Dental is offering free gas vouchers for new signups for their coverage plan. If you sign up for a singles plan, you'll get a $10 gas voucher. If you sign up for a couples plan, that's a $15 gas voucher. And if you sign up for the whole family plan, that's a $20 gas voucher right after your first visit. So hurry down to Paradise Dental and sign up for the CNMI's most affordable dental coverage today. These gas vouchers are limited, and with smiles like these, you know they're going to go fast. Unidentified phenomenon question. It didn't really hit me right away. Talk about those drones. Talk about the movie Abyss. Oh man, we got a lot going on today, and oh man, you know, I'm just checking my my WhatsApp, and I got some messages that came in. Hold on, from Public Safety, that I'll share with you guys here in just a second. Actually, wrong folder. Yeah, but I'm gonna share it with you in just a second from DPS. And this is about an accident, an auto pedestrian accident that we saw. So let's just call this 27 March. And some of you guys sent us some videos. Is this the same thing? You just sent it twice? Kind of looks like it. Or maybe that's the updated. Yeah, I'm just gonna call this A. And you know, we're gonna share this with you now. It just came out. This is the stuff from yesterday. And let me get the video for you too. Just a moment. just hang out with us for a second. Yeah, and it's unfortunate, but you guys may have seen it yesterday, actually last night. AutoPed 327. All right, so it's unfortunate. Last night it looks like something happened here. Let's get you guys, and let me take off the other cam. We'll show it to you here. 1 second. This is just in from DPS. This is regarding the auto pedestrian stuff from last night. It said auto pedestrian was reported Beach Road in Chowlala just by Pacific Outlet. That's where they used to get everything for $3. It said that it's the intersection over there by the B&R Auto Repair Shop. Preliminary investigations revealed that a 56-year-old female pedestrian was crossing Beach Road when she was struck by a vehicle in the inner northbound lane. At the scene, officers were unable to observe visual injuries, but but noted the victim being semi-conscious, lapsing in and out of awareness. She was transported to CHC where injuries such as abrasions were observed. Victim remains in stable condition and is undergoing further examinations. Thank God, because it looked terrible. It says the vehicle's male driver remained at the scene where officers did not detect any signs of impairment. He was interviewed at the scene and later released. This incident remains under investigation by DPS. You know, watching the video, watching that video was something where you actually saw that they were there. Like whoever reported the incidents, whoever that driver was still there. And that's what you want. And it looked like they were not just there, they were trying to help. Let's see where it is. Should be right over here. And we'll put this on the screen just in case you guys didn't see it. Let's see if I can't get the share screen down for this too. So just 1 second. It was kind of brutal. But again, the main thing is that whoever this was did the right thing, and they did not leave. Here, let me get that out of the way. And that out of the way, and that out of the way. Okay, so this is the footage that we got from last night, and we'll just turn the volume all the way down on it because you don't really need that part. But that's it. And you can see that must be the driver right there who's there with the victim. Again, the main thing is the press release says that she's in stable condition and undergoing further examinations. Yeah, you got it. Sorry about that. She's in stable condition, and that the driver stuck around there. And that doesn't look like an officer. That looks like the driver and maybe someone who's a first responder. Like that's not a uniformed first responder. That looks like somebody who may be stabilizing the patient at that moment. And you can see that is on Beach Road in Chowlala, over there by the where it's got that insurance building and everything. Just really, it's very fortunate that she is in stable condition. Oh my gosh. Again, they said that they couldn't really see a whole lot of visible injuries, but she was semi-conscious and a lot of scrapes, abrasions observed. If that's all that she gets out of this, then somebody is absolutely looking out for her up above. My goodness. So, prayers for her indeed. Geez, again, that's over there by the B&R intersection where you get into B&R. And again, thanks to the folks who sent that over to us from last night. Can you imagine? And it's so dark. There was a story that Mark Robigo did last week, and I laughed a little bit just because of the pun with the headline. He said it was shedding light on Saipan's dimly lit roads. I like that. But our roads are dark. I mean, like, I wonder what the standard is for the for lighting for roads, because I don't think we make it. I don't think we meet that standard. I remember going down Middle Road, and I called one of my friends, who's also very good friends with the director of Public Works, say, hey, can you let him know, like, what's up with all the lights? Like, there's not many of them. It's like every 10th light might be on Middle Road at this time. Are they kicked on by the time of day? Because it's definitely not because of the amount of light. And, you know, as I recall, like something like Middle Road, it's a 5-lane highway, right? I mean, you've got 2 lanes going south, 2 lanes going north, and you got a turn lane all the way down. There should be lights on both sides of that road. And it should be like a Christmas tree going down there instead of where people can get hit. Now, Beach Road's different, but I think you just need more lights because it's pretty dimly lit. It's not like you want to throw a whole lot of lights on the beach side of the road because mainly because you don't know how long they're going to be there the way our coastline is going. Also, that seems to be a favorite spot for people who like to pull up copper wires, bastards. But really, it is so dark. It is so dark that it is difficult. So I don't know if we need, definitely need them in the villages, but on our main roads for sure where people are driving. And not to mention, our roads right now, especially Beach Road, is kind of a soup sandwich because of all the construction going on. All right, we are going to wrap it up now early, and I'm telling you what we're doing. This is the big thing. We're leaving early today. We told you about it yesterday. We are leaving because we want to say goodbye, or we want to say welcome home to one of our own, a veteran. Let's get that on the screen for you if we can. Can I do it this way? I mean, this is probably the best way for me to do it. Yeah. This is it. We're going to welcome home Jeremy J. Munya Alapuzzo. We're going to do that today. I'm going to do it right now. Like literally as soon as I wrap this show, which is any second now, we're heading over there to up by the airport because we're going to welcome him home. He's supposed to touch down in about 15 minutes, and there's a bunch of veterans up there already lining the road. I've got I'm going to change my shirt to my VFW uniform for Saipan. I got my VFW cover with me as well, and I got my CNY flag with the flagpole, getting ready to get up there and welcome him home. This Marine who is no longer with us. And if you want to get out there, you don't have to. If you don't have a uniform, you don't have to be out there. You don't have to worry if you have the right uniform or the right clothes or a flag or any of that stuff. The family, this would mean a lot to them, and it means a lot to our veterans community too, to get out there and welcome one of our own home. So come on out there, and that's where I'm going. That's where our show's wrapping up today. I want to say thanks to our guest, Megan Cook. I want to say thanks to you guys for tuning in. I want to say thanks to our sponsors. And I also want to say thanks to you guys as well for supporting the program. Ooh, what is that in the corner? That's it. Is this the same thing? Do I have the same one on this one? Hold on, let's see. Yeah, but I got to take that part off. There we go. This is the bigger version of it. But remind you, if you appreciate us having a free independent press, please think about it. You see the QR code on there. You want to make a donation. I gotta figure out. I was thinking about like, hey, dropping dimes on the news. Like a $10, like a drive, something like that. Like if each one of our followers PayPal'd $1, that would be pretty awesome. PayPal will be happy because they make a bunch of money on the fees probably. But if, man, I'll tell you what, $5, $10, no bucks, maybe just a cup of coffee. If you guys appreciate that we are able to cover the news and the regular stories. Of course, the show. I mean, the morning show is the morning show. But all the other stuff that we do, going out there, covering the events, covering high school sports, the adults, and everything else that we do out there, the events. And when we're there, if you want to support, go ahead, check out the QR code that's on there. And, hey, I 100%, believe me, I know that, hey, there's so many things going on with folks I would love to contribute to. I just can't. Right? And if that's you too, first of all, yeah, we're teammates. Part two, though, what you could do, you could like the page, you can follow the page, and you can subscribe to us. So like us, follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and follow us over there on, and subscribe to us, please, over there on the YouTubes. We might be doing a lot more with YouTube in the near future. I got some ideas about that because of how long things last. Okay. Also, let people know about their ability to advertise with us, please. That would be awesome. Because, you know, the thing is that when you advertise with us, you're not even just advertising just here. Not just here. You're here on the YouTube channel and on Facebook, and on Facebook on multiple channels. So your one commercial actually gets you on multiple platforms and a lot of views. So, man, I mean, I can't get over the fact of how much we've grown this year. I can't get over how much we have grown since I took a pretty big step last May. And we're creeping up to being a year old. Are you serious? We're creeping up to being a year old. Well, I would like for us to make it to that 1 year and keep going after that too. I think we do some good stuff for the community, and it's also the stuff that I want to do. I don't want to do anything else. Is it? Like, this is the life. This is what I want. and I hope you guys like it too. All right, that's what we got. We're gonna go welcome Jeremy home, and if you guys want to join us, go meet us up there by the airport. He's gonna be coming out of the gate over by gate 1. Not like where you line up for United, and he's not coming through like baggage claim and customs and all that. No. All the way at the south end of the airport is where he'll be coming out. DFEMS will be there. The fire folks are going to be doing the water cannons and all that. So if you want to be a part of that and staying with them and comfort the family, come join us. All right, guys, that's what we got for today. Have a great one, and we'll see you soon.
Good morning, Marianas. So many things we gotta discuss. Happy day, Tirawamian greetings. To Rhoda, Guam, Sabin, and Tinian. For all your island news. From a beautiful place with Pacific views. It's always so much fun. Good morning, Marianas.